How's it going, everyone? B Humboldt here, and today we're going to be continuing our Crown Tundra guide slash walkthrough, whatever you want to call it. We're here with some gossiping grannies today, but we're going to be doing some gossiping on the three swords of justice. So Cobalion, Terrakion, and Virizion, since they are available in the Crown Tundra playthrough. And we're going to go over the ways to find them, slash if you're interested to shiny hunt for them. This isn't part of the main quest of the game, but it's an additional side quest that they've included as well. So without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, so to start off, we need to collect the footprints for each of the three Pokemon. In order to kind of trigger this event with Sonia, you need to just walk south of Freezington and notice a couple of footprints in the snow. Once you do see that and walk towards them, it'll trigger the event with Sonia. So after you talk with Sonia, she'll tell you that you need to collect data for each of the three different footsteps or the three Pokemon. She refers to them most commonly as the Grassland, the Cavern, and Iron Well Pokemon, so Virizion, Terrakion, and Cobalion respectively. So the first Pokemon that we'll be going over is Cobalion, which is the Iron Well Pokemon, since they're the first Pokemon in the Pokedex order. So Cobalion's footprints can be found in the Frigid Sea and Roaring Sea caves. If you take a quick walk through the Roaring Sea caves, you'll be able to find them quite easily, and there's also a ton on the middle island in the Frigid Sea. Something about the footprints that I do want to note too is that you do need 100% of them, but you only need to collect 50 of them, so each of them count as 2% when you find them, and there are more than 50 footprints scattered around these areas, so there's not going to be a distinct placement guide or anything for those because there's well more on the map than needed, so you just gotta keep going around until you find them. Cobalion, for me though, was probably the easiest one to find. There was just a lot of footprints kind of gathered together in small areas. Alright, so next we have the Cavern Pokemon, or as we like to call him, Terrakion. So Terrakion's footprints are found within the Lakeside Cave and Balamar Lake. These footprints are not as colorful as Cobalion's and Virizion's, so you may need to take a little extra care and kind of look for them. They almost kind of look like dirt when you walk past them because they're more of a brownish hue. But besides that, they're plentiful and pretty easy to find. And last but not least, we have Virizion, aka the Grassland Pokemon. So Virizion for me was a little bit harder to find compared to the other two. Virizion's footprints are in the Giant's Bed, and this area is pretty open and pretty big, so I have a feeling they kind of scatter them more because of that. So mainly as long as you stick to kind of the sides of the map, around sides of like maybe some structures and look near bushes and trees, you should be able to find them, but it might take you a little extra time like it did for me. So once you have all the footprints at 100%, go talk to Sonia. She is in Freezington in one of the cabins. Once you go talk to her, she will give you some additional details on the three Pokemon and say that you can go find these Pokemon. So let's get into the individual areas and what are the best kind of methods for shiny hunting and getting these Pokemon. So we are going to start off with Cobalion first. So Cobalion spawns in the Frigid Sea. There's no real anchor point to fly there, unfortunately, so the best point is to go to 3 Point Pass first. So once you get off of or out of 3 Point Pass, you want to make your way to the Frigid Sea and then get onto this little island with the lone pine tree. And once we make our way up there, you'll see a Cobalion just spawned. So ideally you would save the game and then go in and encounter it. So of course, Cobalion is not shiny. If you're interested in shiny hunting, the best way to do this would be to run away from Cobalion. Unfortunately, the Swords of Justice count as static encounters, so the knockout or battle method doesn't work. So the best method is to really just run away and reset the spawn. So the best way to reset the spawn is to actually go into Pokemon Camp. So go into Pokemon Camp. Oh, sad Arcanine. Hopefully you don't get distracted by the Pokemon. And then exit out, and that will reset the spawn. And if you kind of time it and position just right, you can kind of just set right on top of the spawn, and it's the easiest way to just kind of quickly reset the spawn without having to reset the game. So again, all you have to do is just exit and keep up this until you get the Cobalion that you want. Alright, so next spawn location is Terrakion. So for Terrakion, he's in the Lakeside Cave, so the best method is to fly to Dana Tree Hill and go into the cave system from there. So not too far away, just a quick ride to the left once you get out of the tree. And Terrakion is in this little alcove over here. So again, same type of method you would do with the previous one. So if it's not shiny, you basically just run out of the battle and reset in Pokemon Camp. So simple as that, same shiny hunting method, but this is the spot where Terrakion spawns. Last but not least is Virizion, or Verizon Wireless. So the best way to get to Virizion, Virizion is in the Giant's Bed, is to fly to the Registeel Temple, and then just keep heading straight. And when you come to this little fork in the road here, do not go up by the cemetery, go down into kind of like the little valley area here to your right. And you see that max raid den there, Virizion will spawn just over there. So again, same thing with Virizion. If you want to do the shiny hunting method, once you encounter it, just do the Pokemon Camp method and continue to reset the spawn. Something I wanted to mention too is that the Swords of Justices are mark huntable. If you prefer to go after a certain mark instead of maybe shiny hunting these, you can totally do that as well. As you can see, I was catching these for the purposes of the video. I plan to shiny hunt them myself, so I haven't saved my game yet. But I did get a Virizion with the excited mark, so Virizion the Giddy, which would have been a really cool mark, but unfortunately that's not what I'm going after. For this method though, if you are mark hunting them, you do have to catch the Pokemon. So what you're going to want to do is do more of the save and kind of hard reset method instead of just using Pokemon Camp, because of course you're catching the Pokemon. You only have one shot to catch this Pokemon, so would recommend to save just outside of Virizion's range and then redo the battle that way using soft reset. So the last part of this video is going to be focusing on Keldeo. So for Keldeo, you need to catch all 3 Swords of Justices from your game. So you cannot progress and do this once you have all 3, and all 3 need to be in your party. So once you have all 3, go back to Freezington and talk to Sonia. It'll trigger a little cutscene where she goes and exclaims her excitement over each of the 3 Pokemon, and then ends with her and Yamper just ditching and leaving that poor Beldum in the back homeless again. But after the cutscene of Sonia, we can fly to the Dynatree Hill. So fly back down here to Dynatree Hill, and we're gonna need to go to a small little lake in the middle of Lake or Malamar Lake. So go to the right and then go down this little slope and into the lake itself, and go all the way back to the lake, this little outcrop or islands back here. And keep in mind, this is the first time you can catch Keldeo in-game. It's usually been a distribution event only Pokemon, so this is pretty cool. So in order to trigger the event, you need to have the 3 Swords of Justices in your party, and you need to go into Pokemon Camp. So once we go into Pokemon Camp, see a Toxicity looking at us really weird. He's a little too happy to be here. You're gonna have to actually cook a meal. So the one time this feature actually gets used in the game, but yeah, let's cut back after we do all this cooking. And we only got a Milcery class. Cool. Thanks, game. But anyway, once you do that, exit Pokemon Camp. Pokemon gain XP. And Keldeo appears right there. One thing about Keldeo is that it is not shiny huntable, it is shiny locked. So unfortunately you cannot get this thing in shiny form. If you see someone with a Keldeo that is shiny, it is 100% hacked. It has never been released in the game hacked, or never been released in the game as shiny. So that's one way to tell if someone has a legit Keldeo or not. So something I do want to mention is that I cannot confirm or deny if Keldeo is mark huntable. Like I said before, I didn't want to save over my game because I plan on shiny hunting the 3 Swords of Justices before I get Keldeo. But once I ran away from the battle, Keldeo did not respond, even after I cooked another meal again at the tree by the pot. So just a word of warning in case you do that. I don't know exactly if it will respond ever. I doubt they would do that to you after every single other encounter in this game is respawnable, but you never know. So if you do want to do some testing, save Keldeo can have a mark on it. I would suggest saving before you even cook your first meal. That way you'll guarantee to reset the spawn that way. But anyway guys, this is how you get Cobalion, Terrakion, Virizion, and Keldeo within Pokemon Sword and Shield. If you're enjoying the content and you're enjoying this playthrough, kind of guide, mix mash type style video, let me know. Leave a like, leave a comment. Any support would greatly help out the channel. But anyway guys, thank you again for watching, and remember to stay kind and be humbled.